class. So we already started with the most important concept, OOPS, where we already did advantages of OOPS and what are the object-oriented programming principles, what are the various object-oriented programming principles, and advantages of object-oriented programming. And as a part of that, first part we started with. So the first part we started with classes concept we started. And these points must be so clear to understand the further things. So coming to the point of it. So, okay, Laksha. Sir, with your blessings, I'm 19 today. Okay,
This
Laksha.
meeting is being recorded.
It's birthday. Right. Laksha, happy birthday. God bless you. Now, I'll move to the further. So on behalf of offline students, I'm also saying happy birthday to all the students from offline students. Happy birthday from offline students also. Now I'll move to the further. So the purpose of classes concept is that to develop programmer defined data type and to develop any real-time application. In OOPS, if you want to start any application, you must start with what? Classes concept. The main important thing is programmer defined data type. Programmer defined data type purpose is to develop what? To create your own data storage, that is called customized data, plus to perform our own operations. List is there. List is for what purpose? Certain purpose of storing multiple values of same type or different type or both the types with unique and duplicate. Here also we want to store our own data type with our own data, with our own operations want to store. So I need to develop my own class. To develop such a type of programmer defined data type, using classes concept, we use a keyword called what? Class. So class is a keyword. So somebody asks you what is a class? You have to ask, are you asking the purpose of class? Are you asking the definition of class? Or you are asking the class called class keyword? You have to get this type of information. Okay. So every class name in Python programming treated as what? Programmer defined data type. Every program in OOPS must starts with classes concept and objects. So the definition of class. A class is a collection of data members and methods. So the functions in OOPS are called what? Methods. Same. Functions concept is same. Why you can learn OOPS easily in my class? Because you already know functions very perfectly. And that you are learning methods as it is coming. That's why OOPS are very easy for you. So when we define a class in Python, there is no memory space created for data members and methods. But whose memory space is coming when we create object with respect to class name. So if class names are used for which purpose? To create objects. Why do you develop a class? For programmer defined data type. Why do you develop programmer defined data type? To store my own data, customized format, plus to perform my own operations. To perform my own operations, what I require? Functions. To store my own data, what I require? Variables. To have like that, I'll go for which concept? Class concept. So, example, I think you got this concept right. So I want to store STNO. I want to store name. I want to store marks like this. I want to have a function get to student details, display student details, like this I want. Only these things I want. So I will define my own class. With respect to that class, I will create an object. In that object, I can store all of them. On this object, I can perform these operations. That is the meaning of it. So, whatever the data members and methods available in a class, which are appearing as a part of object without any memory space. So any class you are taking, there is no memory space. When we create an object, memory space will be coming with the object. So that programmers can store the data in the data members of object and performs operations on the data members of object by using methods. So this part we discussed already. Now I'm entering into today. We are entering into today. What is the definition of class? Come on, fast. Collection of data members and methods. Today, I want to write down defining syntax for defining the class in Python. Whatever the sentences I said, you apply on Java hooks, apply on C++ hooks, apply on any language, which is going to provide object-oriented programming. So what is the concept of class? What is the syntax for defining a class in Python? Very easy. Tell me, which keyword I'm using to define a class? Class keyword. So I'm using class and what to write? Class name. Class name. Simple. You have to get by this time the syntax. Class name. So I'm writing something like CLS name, class name. So there I'm writing indentation block. Indentation block is compulsory. What I will write it according to the definition, data members, and next is called what? Methods. Methods. This is the syntax actually. This is what people says. Even you open any internet, they will say like that. But it is not the actual definition. It is only the theoretical concept of what is a class. Class is a collection of data members and methods. But how to go for this? Now I'm going to in detail. Just watch it, students. I will elaborate. The elaboration today, Monday, Tuesday also it will take. It is such a great discussion we are doing. Class level data member, class level data member, class level data members. Don't worry about class level data member. DEF, instance method name, don't worry about it. I will explain one by one. List of formal params if any. There I am writing block of statements specify 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 instance data members and performs specific operations. Perform specific operations. These are comes under. This comes under DEF instance method name self comma list of formal parameters specify instance data members performs specific operations. Now I'm going to take up another one. D at the rate class method class method DEF class level method CLS list of formal parameters specify class level data members and performs perform common operations on all objects of same class on all objects of same class. Okay, now I will write it one more kind of thing. Static method at the DEF static method name of list of formal params if any. I'm writing there block of statements performs utility or universal operations. So this is about the static method. I think you are remembering about this thing. What is that? This part. Don't know. You did not hear in my class. Maybe evening time I taught it. Decorator we can call. I will explain. Okay. Don't worry about it. This is called a decorator we can call. But a decorator concept is going to be coming across and need not to worry about any such type of things in the class. Don't worry about it. I will explain in the class. At the rate class method, at the rate static method, I will explain in the class. Nothing to worry. And after that, we are discussing about DEF underscore underscore init underscore of self comma self comma. I will write it. List of formal parameters if any. List of formal parameters any if any. I will carry this. There I will write it. Block of statements. Block of statements initializes the object. Initializes the object. Initializes the object. So this is related to the syntax of a class. If anybody asks what class contains, one note point I am writing, what class contains here. Class contains, if somebody asks what class contains, the following. Number one, data members. Data members. Under the data members, two types of data members are there. One is called instance data members. Instance data members. Second one is called class level data members. Class level data members. And next when we come to methods also will present over there, which is containing instance method, instance method, instance method. Second one which is containing class level method, class level method. Next the third one which I am taking, that is known as what you know, class level method, instance method, static method, static method I am taking. There I am going to take it one more. Constructors will present. Constructors will present. There I am going to write it. Default constructor, default constructor. And the second one is called parameterized constructor. Parameterized constructor. So these are the class contains. If all of a sudden, like our olden day, like your college days, what is a class? A class, people says one of the most worst definition, class is a collection of objects, they will say. That is the wrong actually. What is the class actually? Class contains, class is a collection of data members and these many data members, methods, these many methods, constructors, these many things. That is the complete meaning of class. Understand? So we are going to discuss about one by one in the classroom. So what is the definition of class? Class is a collection of data members and methods. Now first I am introducing data members in the class. First I want to discuss this area. Next I'll go to this area. Next I'll go to this area. So let us go to the types of data members. Types of data members. I'm going to take it. Types of data members. Types of data members in a class of Python. In a class of Python. I'm going to take up. It's very, very easy, not a difficult. Students, in a class of Python, we can define two types of data members. Define two types of data members. I'll explain in detail of it. What is the meaning of it? Two types of data members. They are, number one, we can call instance data members. Instance data members. And don't take much time, students. It is very easy for you to understand. Class level data members. So we will discuss instance data members and class level data members in detail of it. What do you mean by instance data members? What do you mean by class level data members? What is their significance? How we will write those instance data members and class level data members. So here, go for the class definition once again. Now let us take the concept of one paint. I will take it. So I'm going to write a small class for what? Student. Think of it, all of you. When I'm going to take a class called student, assume that the students which are available in my class, I want to store their information. I decided to store their information. What information I decided to store? I decided to store the information about number and a name and then marks. What I want to store? Number I want to take, name I want to take, and then marks I want to take it. Marks. Tell me, students, if I am having number, name, and marks, if I am going to create an object for first student, second student, like that, how many students are there in my class? For all the students, I need to create that many number of objects or not? If I create a first object, that is nothing but S1 I am creating. In that, I need to store STNO value. I need to store name. I need to store marks. That means when I am creating an object, separate memory space is created for data members and methods of which class? Student class. So that I can enter the value for number, name, and marks. I'll create the second object I will create. Second object also will get what? Number I will get it. Next name I will get it. Next I will get what here? Marks I will get it. There also I will store the number, name, and marks. So this indicates when we create 1,000 objects, if I create 1,000 times, I am getting the memory space for number and name and marks. Because every student will contain what? Their own number, their own name, and their own marks. So any data member is containing specific values which differs from one student to another student. They are called what? Instance data members. Number, name, marks. Are they same for everybody? Come on. No. So they are going to differ from one student to. Will you store all of them in one place or separate memory space? Separate memory space you will create. They are known as what? Instance data members. Go to banking. Number of customers will be there or not? Every customer will contain what? Their number, name, account number will be there, customer name will be there, balance will be there, address will be there, Aadhaar card number will be there, PAN card number will be there. What are called what? Instance data member. Any specific value is called instance data member. Understood that? If you go to the employee number, employee name, salary, designation are called what? Instance data member, because they are specific. Are you getting me? Now if we go to students you are taking, number of students you are taking, for all those students you are taking what? Common value you are taking, which is called what? Course, who are all attending my class. If you take course, is it a common value or specific value? Common value. All of them, all the people's course is what? Python only. Number is different, name is different, marks is different. But course remains same for everybody or not? So would you like to create the memory space for course every time? Would you like to create the memory space for the course every time? No. I will create the memory space for course how many times? But for better management, one time only I will create. One time only I will create CRS is equal to Python. This Python I will create one time. This will be shared by what? All sorts of what? Objects. All sorts of object will be shared. So finally, I am going to give a conclusion. What is the conclusion here? There are two types of data members are there. Specific values, common values. Specific values need to have what memory? Come on, speak out. Separate memory. What memory? Instance memory. What are you speaking? Specific values need to have what memory? Separate memory. Common values need to have which memory? Single memory space. Specific values need to have which memory space? Specific values need to have which memory space? Separate memory space. Your hall ticket number, your name, your marks in the examination branch will maintain separate memory space, or for all of them one memory space? Separate memo will come, separate memory space will come. Anybody who create a separate memory space, that is known as what? Instance data members. Employee number, employee name, salary, designation are called what? Instance data member. Company name for all employees. Company name for all employees. Common. Common values are called what? One-time memory space to be created. If we create the common value memory space every time, it is called poor programming. It is not a good coder. So one-time memory space to be created by what? Don't know anything. Common value memory space to be created how many times? One time. They are known as what I said, class level data members. Specific values memory space to be created how many times? One time. Specific values memory space to be created how many times? Every time. Whose memory space to be created every time when an object is created, and they are known as what? Instance data members. How many types of data members? Two types. One is called what? Instance data members. One more is called what? So tell me, when do you go for instance data members? When do you go for instance data members? Instance data members are used for storing which values? Specific values. Specific values differs from one person to another person. English would రావాలి. Need to know English. Specific means particular. They need to have separate memory space or one-time memory space. Here I am talking about one-time memory space, repeated memory space. Specific value I am talking, common value I am talking. Specific values. Instance data members are used for storing specific values. Next, instance data members memory space created every time when we create an object. When we create an object. Suppose when you come to joining the course, they will create separate memory space for you. Your details will be taken. Other person coming, other details will be taken. Other person will be coming. Like that, all the people's details will be taken. And for all of them are which course? What is the course name? Python. That Python they won't create again and again. They will create how many times? One time. Your IDs and all those things are going to be different. But course is created how many times? One time only. So course is known as what? Class level data member. Specific values which are available with objects are what? Instance data member. That's all simple. So class level data members are used for storing which type of values? Come on. Are used for storing common values. Are used for storing common values. Common values we are going to store it. Common values we are going to store it. Class level data members memory space. Class level data members memory space. Data members memory space. Memory space created only once. Only once. Irrespective of number of objects created. Number of objects created. You create 1000 objects. How many times memory space will be created? One time only. So, first of all, you need to have the knowledge on both of them. First, are you okay with that? So, I'm asking, create an object of depositors. Depositors. Create an object for storing what? Depositors. So, to create an object of depositors, first you need to have what? Class. Class called a deposit. In that, what do you want to store? మీకు ఏం రాదా అసలు? Class is a collection of what? Data members and methods. Data members are of what? For depositors, account number, customer name, balance, and all the details will be taken. They are called data members. And on the data members, what are the methods you are doing for depositors? Withdraw, deposit, balance inquiry, pin generate, pin change. These are all called what? Methods. What are the methods on what? Deposit object. To create a deposit object, what I need to create? Class. So, coming to the point of it, instance data members are used for storing specific values. Instance data members, memory space created, memory space created, memory created every time when we create an object. Class level data members are used for storing common values. Class level data members memory space created only once, irrespective of number of objects are created. Say example, all the 140 crores of Indians, Aadhaar card you see, memory space will be created for the country is how many times? One time. So country name for all the Aadhaar card people are what? Class level. Aadhaar card number, their names, their addresses are called what again? Instance. So you have to get it once you are good student. If you don't know anything, better can leave that. So instance data members are mentioning here. Now, where do you mention this instance data member? Where do you mention this class level data members? Now I'm writing, first I will mention this. Class level data members, programmatically, class level data members must be specified, must be specified, must be specified in two places. In two places. What is that first one? Number one, inside of class definition. Inside of class definition. Number one. Inside of class definition. Number one. Number two is inside of class level method. Inside of class level method definition. These are the two places you need to mention. Let us go to the class now. Class name. I am writing what here? Class level data members. This is one place we can write it. Once you write any variable name, data member means don't think that they are going to be complicated. They are variables only. How many types of variables you have seen already in the class? How many types of variables you have seen in the class already? Rajeshwari Das is asking, sir, I have a doubt that what is the data member? Data members are nothing but after all what? Variables. Variables. So where I taught that word to you? Where I taught that word? 7 a.m. Student, sorry. Rajeshwari. So there you go for features of Python. Features of Python. There it is called simple. Under that, definition of module. Definition of module. A module is a collection of what? Function names, data members. Class name tarvata gani data members. Data members. And today we are going for what? Classes. Data members are nothing but what? Variables. Variables. I shown you math. That time math I shown you. In that pi is a variable, e is a variable. That time already we discussed that. So you need to remember data members are nothing but what? After all, variables. How many variables you know? Tell me. If you are a good student, how many variables are you learned in my class? How many types of variables you learned in my class? So, Arshad Mohammed, good. Local variables, global variables. So, Niharika, good. So, Pawan, good. So, Arshad Mohammed, good. Niharika, Malik, right. So, global variables, local variables. Only that. Only that. So, you people are not in the subject mood. You people are just not doing anything. I'm going to talk about variables. If anybody asks me what is a variable, I will just give mind-blowing answer, which my sir taught already. So, coming to the point of it, variables are, I will write it, just you refresh your brain. try to put your brain into somewhere. Number one is called what? Local variables, as online student set. Global variables, as online student set. This they said already. Next, I will go for another kind of thing. The variables which I am using, variables which are used inside of what? Function calls. Inside of function calls are called what? Arguments. Did I explain? మీకు తెలుసా అది? తెలియదు. Explained already? Explain. Next, I'm going to talk about it. The variables used the variables used in function heading, function heading, function heading. What are the things which I explained? Positional formal parameters, positional formal params, that are also called variables. Second one which I said, default params, default params, that are also called variables. Explained, not explained? Explained. మన బుర్రలో ఉన్నాయి అవి లేవు. So in your brain it is not there. Then what is the use of that? What are you doing that? Next, what are you doing? Variable length arguments, variable length arguments, star variables. Next, fourth one I am saying, it is called a keyword, keyword variable length arguments, keyword variable length arguments, and keyword variables also, keyword variables also. Next is called what? Keyword variables also. Where I said all these things? Inside the functions I said. మీకు అవన్నీ రాకుండా ఉత్తగా జిడ్డు మొగాలు వేసుకుని కూర్చొని ఉంటే ఎట్లా వస్తాయి మీకు? సో coming to the point of it, these are all called what? Very, very important. Is it explained all of them or not? Then why are you not answering? Why are you not answering? If you go to an interview, it should be like a just very perfectly you have to go for it. If somebody asks what is the variable, you'll give a big answer. In Whoops, you are coming to Whoops now. Today you are coming to Whoops. In the Whoops, what are you learning? Instance data members. Second one, we are learning class level data member. Inni variables untai. These many variables are there. In C language, how many variables are there? So many. In the functions, there also will be present. There also will be present. These are the variables present in the Python. First, try to read out. Then only you will be going for. Is it explained or not explained? Explain. Then if you don't remember, how can you get the job? So class course is there. Only come to the class is enough. So need to have some commitment and remembrance and all. So let us go. See students, if you don't put your efforts to remember, it's very difficult. Even if I explain any kind of subject, you should be a master in that. Nobody can stand in front of you. Whoops is there, for example. I am telling 1 week I am going to tell. In Whoops in every place, first of all, Whoops, they don't touch it. Python Whoops, they don't touch it. Even in the same institute also. So learn something more when I'm teaching something extraordinary here. Now here I'm writing instance data members, programmatically instance data members. Here I can write it. Can be specified, can be specified. Here I'm writing programmer data members, instance data members can be specified. Here I'm writing instance data members. I'm writing instance data members. Here I'm writing instance data members can be specified in 3 places. I'm thinking in 3 places. So I can say one place, I can say finish it off by thinking that these students are not remembering anything. Telling in detail is waste of time. If I think like that, by the time Python would have been completed early only. So need to remember first of all. So Whoops is basically they feel very tough. Why? They won't practice the programming. But it is dead easy. Number one, through object, through an object. First of all, through an object, through an object. Number one. Number two, inside of what? Inside of instance method. I will explain instance method. Third one is called what? Inside of constructor. Inside of constructor. Inside of constructor. In three places, I'm going to specify. In three places, I'm going to specify. First of all, you must have the knowledge about what is instance variable or instance data member, class level data member. First, manaku teliyali adi. You need to know first. So yesterday, one student came in 11 o'clock. He completed B.Tech. He is asking, sir, can you explain in Telugu, Python in Telugu? I asked, is B.Tech Telugu medium or English medium? I don't know. He really hands up to those teachers who trained there. Their B.Tech teachers explained Telugu, it seems. Telugu in their colleges. Is from AP. Telugu they explained. Really specially trained teachers in the universe. And that student is saying, Telugu they explained. Python is in Telugu. What is that Python in Telugu? Python in Telugu is what? Huh? What is that? Huh? Python in Telugu is called what? Nika. మీరు కూడా అదే కాలేజా? జావా ఇన్ తెలుగు? జావా ఇన్ తెలుగు? These are all called what? ఈ దిక్కుమాలిన ఆన్సర్స్ అంటే పెట్టాను. తెలుగు ఐఎమ్ స్పీకింగ్ టుడే ప్యూర్ తెలుగు. అంటే మా ఊర్లో అట్లా అంటారు దిక్కుమాలిన తెలుగు అని. మీ ఊర్లో ఏమంటారు అంతేనా? ఇక సాటర్డేనా టుడే ఐఎమ్ షాప్. దట్ ఈస్ అ సింబాలిక్ నొటేషన్ ఫర్ పైథాన్. సింబల్ ఫర్ పైథాన్. సింబల్ ఫర్ పైథాన్. సింబల్ ఫర్ పైథాన్. సింబల్. సింబల్ ఫర్ పైథాన్. మీరేమంటారు దీన్ని? స్నేక్, అనకొండ, దట్కొండ, దిస్కొండ. Because of this answers, I'll get sometimes disappointed. What is a variable in Telugu called? I asked that guy, please don't come to my class. He's coming 4 days onwards to the class. He came yesterday and is asking, sir, sometimes half of the class teach in Telugu, sir. Actually, I should not use a single Telugu word in the class. But that guy said, I just wondered, how they will survive. He is not understanding simple, even simple words also. And asked, what is the CGPA? Very worst CGPA. If they write Telugu in exam paper, they will write. How they will be handling that problem, na? So these are all called what? Better, we have to remember first of all. So that may be there with the problems. Even in YouTube, Python in Telugu 2 hours. How many reviews there you cannot imagine. More number of people will view. But that makes you to understand they are interested to learn in their mother tongue. But when you go to interview, you will not develop the Python program in your mother tongue. Will you develop it? No, that's why you have to learn original subject as it is as original subject. You should not add any spicy to that. So come to the point of it. So it's my time waste. So I said, sir, when you teach in Telugu, I said, and never better you go to your home and do some business, I said. No, sir, I want to learn Python. Okay, sir, teach in English only, sir, he said. So I said, better you go to, first of all, I got very much disappointed when he asked that question. So if I started teaching Telugu, even I don't get Telugu words for variables, for example. What is the variable Telugu word? Telugu word, you tell me. So you said Python something you said, which I'm not spelling it out also. Variables in Telugu called what? Huh? Local variables in Telugu called what? Positional variables in Telugu called what? Default arguments in Telugu called what? These are all called very danger. So come to the point. Now I'm going to enter into the further. And the year by year, when students are coming, very dangerous candidates are coming. Yesterday, I asked a question called RDBMS. What is the full form of RDB? One MCA student is sitting here and three girls are sitting there. Both of them are from same college. This boy and the three girls from AP. What is RDBMS? This boy, I asked a question, and this boy plus those three girls immediately said what? Random database management system. Random. If all of them said, I asked the same college, huh? Oh, yes, sir, they said. Their sir also said like that, it seems. Their sir also said like that. Then you can understand how the faculties are disturbing the students. Is it really big damage or not? At least they are not explaining. Full forms also they are saying wrong. The big damage to the students. That's why you are losing your memory and losing the confidence and education also. So, any of you students, read well. When you are in my class, when I'm giving everything for you systematically through coding, still you are not remembering how many variables. Only two variables you are remembering: local variable, global variable. But how many variables I taught to you? Is it explained all of them? Not explained. Explained with systematically. Hmm? Explained or not explained? Then, if you don't remember how it is, so coming to the point of it. Now I'm going to say, Nagalakshmi, they did not touch the textbooks also, it seems. 100%. When they open the textbook, everything is in English only. First of all, BTech students, they don't touch the textbook 90% of the time. They will touch what? All in one in all material, Xerox papers. Their sir will give you some PDF files. Not only you will enjoy. Actual reading is textbook. That's the blessing always for you. Right. Anyhow, come to that. It is a never ending story when we go on speaking about it. So I'm going to talk about how you can access the instance data members. Instance data members memory space created every time when we create what? And and instance data members are also called instance data members are also called you know also called object level data members we can call object level data members we can call. First of all, are you understanding what I am talking? First of all, in the whoops, are you getting? So, are you having separate imagination about class and object? Yesterday I said class is nothing but like a house plan. Will you live in that house plan? When I construct the home, as it is that house plan, whatever is there in the paper, as it is, it reflect in the physical house also. So the physical house is called what? Object. So specification is called class. What are the things you want to be in the object? You will mention in the class. That will be coming as it is in the object. So first object will not come, right or not? So suppose you are there, for example, you are dreaming. When you become a job holder, you want to buy the car, you want to buy the house. Some dreams are there for you. That is called you are having the dreams in the form of specification. That is called what you are having? Class. When you implement your dreams into reality, it means you are getting the object. So same thing here also. So you are planning to create the class for what? Students' information to store. What are you doing? What you want to store? Number, name, marks, course for all the students who are attending my class. You will think immediately. Number, name, marks are differing from one student to another student. Those three are called instance data members. Course is having common value for all the students. That to be taken as what? Class level data member. Suppose even course also differing from one student to another student. You will take it as what? Instance data member. ఏముంది అందులో? What is there? What difficulty is there? What? Easy or difficult? Next, one more example. Employee number, employee name, salary, designation are called instance. Company name for all the employees, class level. One more. Aadhaar card number, customer name, address, all those things, instance. Country name, that's all. So if anything, you any problem you see, that problem you need to immediately implement by using which type of data member it is. It is a very important here. Okay. How we can access how we can access instance data members, how we can access class level data member. You specified in the class inside of 3 places. Here you specified in 2 places. Anyway, write the coding now. Within 1 minute, coding will start. I will write it. Instance data members must be accessed. Instance data members must be accessed with respect to object name, with respect to object name. Why they are with respect to object name? They are available with whom? They are available with whom? Object. So, like this. S1 is an object which contains the data called what? Pen, name is X and 14.25. Next is called one more is called what? S2. S2, which is containing 20 and Y and then 24.25. S3, one more called S3, which is containing something like 30 and some Z and 44.45. How to access 10? 10 is a part of what? S1. So how you can access S1 dot STNO? S1 dot STNO. What is an STNO belongs to? S1. What is the value come? 10. S2 dot name. S2 dot name. What will come? Y. S3 dot marks. What will come? Only STNO. If I write it, it is not going to give you any accessibility. Are you following? So S1 dot STNO, S2 dot STNO, S3 dot STNO, they are going to give different things, not simply STNO. So STNO belongs to S1 now, STNO belongs to S2 now, STNO belongs to S3 now. So STNO name marks are called which type of data members? Instance. Instance data members must be accessed with respect to what name? Object name, or what? Self. Self, we will use it. What is self? What is self? Object name, syntax I am writing here. Object name dot instance data member name. Next I am writing self dot instance data member name. Self dot instance data member name I am writing. And this is the one I am writing here. Self dot data member to be used only inside of, don't worry about this word, instance, to be used inside of instance method. Instance method only, to be used inside of instance method. Are you able to follow? I will tell you this instance method, don't worry. First of all, is it clear? Second one, don't worry. What is the self? You don't worry. You take anybody, what is self? You ask, nobody can answer it. Can you anybody answer it? Anybody knows Java here? Anybody knows Java here? You know Java. Don't know? Both of you know Java. Don't know? Right. So girls knows Java. I know some of them knows. Because they are not saying anything. I'm not asking questions to girls. Boys, you know Java? Some of them. CSC background. Don't know? Telling lies is not correct now. You know Java, right? Looking back. You know Java. You know, I know that. You know. Don't know? Okay. Who knows Java? Okay. Anyhow, I'm not going to ask you. No problem. Bono. Okay. My dear student. Good. Now I'll move to the further. No, don't worry about it. In Java, there is a this is there. This. In Java, this is there. What is this? So Keyword they said. That is one of the blunder. That is one of the blunder mistake. I know for that purpose only I'm asking that question. Everybody will say this is a keyword. They will say this is a keyword. They will say this is not a keyword. First of all, this is one of the implicit object. First of all, how do you know it is a variable? First of all, how do you know it is going to be a something like that? Of course, I don't want to disturb you by going to that. If we go to this place, Java here, if I go to JDK here, because your SAR also will tell like that, because they don't know anything. These days, they don't know anything and they are taking the classes. They don't know anything, they are taking the classes. And if is equal to int, if is equal to 12, it is going to be called what? Error. If is called what? Keyword. Keyword. Now I am writing int a is equal to 10. It is going to be valid here. Int this is equal to 45. 45. It is going to be giving to this place. Int cannot be converted into what? This value. So this is called an object. This is not a keyword. Of course, what are the keywords list in present in what are the keywords present in Java? First you list out that in that this will not be there. In that this will not be there. So coming to the point of it, why I am saying that is keywords in Java, I am going to write it. Keywords in Java. If we just go for keywords in Java, see abstract, these are all called keywords. In this what are not there? In this what are not there? This will not be present at all. This will not be present anything. This is not present. See, they refers to current object in a method or constructor. It is not a keyword. It is refers to what? Method or constructor, not to what? This. Are you following that? So that's why when we learn certain things, even in Python level, what will come? Self. Self is not a keyword. Self. Some of the people will say self is a keyword. Why I'm saying 2 days back, one of the faculty, of course, they are coming to my Python class, NumPy class. They are asking some doubt to me about the self. They are saying keyword. Self is not a keyword. Self is called what? Implicit object, which is working like something like a this. Anyhow, we will come to the point of it. Self dot what? That will be later. I will explain. Object name dot instance data member name. Object name dot instance data member name. Just I am going to take up here. So in this case, my dear students, instance dot what? Data member name I am going to write it. In this case, how you can access it? Object name. First you remember why we are accessing with respect to object name, because every data member, instance data member is created memory space when we create object. How do you access class level data members? I am writing here. Class level data members must be accessed. Class level data members can be accessed with respect to class name, and the CLS. And don't worry about the CLS. Why they are going to be with respect to class name? Because they are going to allow the memory space to be created only one time. They are not a part of what? Object. They are part of what? Class level only. That also I will explain to you students. Let me write here, syntax point here, class name dot CLS name, CLS name dot class level data member name, class level data member name. I'm writing it. Now I'm going to write it. CLS dot class level data member name I'm writing. Class level data member name I am writing here. Very, very simple. Class level data member name. There I am writing to be used inside of which level method? Class level method only. Class level method. So this part I will show you programmatically now. So far it gives some confusion and everything. Now I'm entering into the coding part. Shall I? Let's go to PyCharm. Let us go to the PyCharm now. Online students, concept I just given it, but concept related programming I am going to discuss here. So let us watch this now. Come out of that, close this project. Go to this place. Here 7 a.m. Okay. So here I will go to 7 a.m. Oops. So I'm going to write it 7 a.m. Oops. Examples. So let us start with, under that, I'm going to start with. In this place, we are going to enter into the first example. Which example? That is instance data member. Instance data member. Data member example1.py. Instance data members example1.py. Now I'm going to define. Come on, start with. What is my requirement? Want to store student details. How do you go for it? Class student. And just to say pass. I'm starting from this point here. See, class name. From the starting point onwards, I want to discuss. First of all, you need to get what is the purpose of class. First important point, you need to have the clarity. To develop programmer defined data type. Why do you develop programmer defined data type? To store customized data and customized operations. For that purpose, I'm taking my own class. So every class name is taken as what? Programmer defined data type. So with this, what I'm going to do it, why I'm defining class called student? To store the student related data. To store the student related data, what I need? Class is created now. To store anything, what I need? Object is required. In Python, anything you need to store, we need an object. So I'm going to write it. Main program. Once you define a class, there is no output is coming. There is no output is coming. No output here. No output is coming. So I'll go to no output is coming. Just it is stopping else here. Now I want to go for main program. Main program I'm going to take it. S is equal to student of. What is this S is called now? Object. It is looking like L1 is equal to list of. T1 is equal to couple of. Next, D1 is equal to dict of. D1 is equal to dict of. Do you know this? S1 is equal to set of. Set of. What is this set of? List of, tuple of, dict of classes. List is a class, tuple is a class, dict is a class, set is a class. In the same manner, in place of S1, S1 is there. In place of the set of what is there? Student of is there. This is known as what? Object creation. This is known as object creation. Object creation, S1. Once you create an object S1, do you know? S1 created like this in the memory will have some type of ID for it. Every object will have some ID now. Create one more object. S2. I'm creating one more object. Y, 1, 2, 3. I'm writing. X, 1, 2, 3. Y, 1, 2, 3. I want to create it. These are the two objects created. Now what you will do? I will keep the first student data inside. I'll keep the second student data inside. How do you keep the data inside of S1 and S2? That is what I mentioned it. Create one more object. Create one more object. I'm going to take up one more object. I will create it. So I'm going to take it. One more object. What is that? S2. S2. S2 is equal to student. What are S1 and S2? Objects. So try to have the picture in the brain of you. ID of S1, comma, ID of S1. Next, I'm going to take up ID of S2. ID of S2 is equal to ID of S2. So there are two objects created with a separate IDs. So I'm going to keep it here. Easy, students. Only thing is you must have ID of it, ID of it. Both of them are separate memory spaces created. But imagination, that picturization in the brain is important. When my statements are writing, in your brain, picturization is important. So two objects are created. In your brain, like this, you have to form it. In your brain, you have to form it. Okay, sir. S1 and S2 created. Now I want to place which data? Now I want to place which data? I want to place something like Laksha data. I want to place it. Laksha data. I want to put something like Asif data. Something like I want to put something like one more student, Haripriya data. Now Lakshmi data. I want to place it. So what are these people are called? Objects now. I want to keep the data. How do you put the data? S1 dot S1 dot STNO. Take your own data member, take your own variable. STNO is equal to 100. What is STNO? Student number. ఇంత ముద్దు బాబులు తప్పితే ఏం లేదు ఇక్కడ. It is an instance data member. I am keeping inside the object. STNO student number. So what is STNO here? Instance data member, which I am keeping inside of what? Object. So next I will write it S1 dot what now? Name. Name is equal to what I am doing? Row sum. What is S name there? Instance data member. Present in where? S1. Picturization is important. S1 dot marks is equal to what? 34.56. What is that marks? So I put the data inside of what? S1. Similarly, I will put the data in S2 also now. Here I mentioned it. Instance data members can be specified in two places, three places through an object. That is what I am writing today. Instance data members we are placing here. Here we are placing instance data members. Instance data members. We are placing instance data members in object S1. In object S1. Are you following me? S1 dot. No doubt in that. Oops is complicated. Oops is complicated. You take any academic, oops is out. Because we are from strong background of Java, we almost worked research and development of this oops. We are supposed to tell you that total Java oops are very complicated there. In Python is actually dead easy, I feel, but it is difficult to the student. That picturization is important. Difficult means don't think that for everybody it is difficult. Those who are already perfect in coding, this is nothing today. So, done. Next, I want to go for what? We are placing instance data members and values. Here I'll write it. Values in object S1. Next, I'm going to take up. We are placing instance data members in where? S2. What I will do? S2 dot STNO is equal to, I will take it 200. S2 dot again name is equal to what? Travis. S2 dot marks is equal to what? Marks. S2 dot marks is equal to what I am doing. 55.55 I said. How many objects are there? Two objects. I filled with the data or not? What data? Number, name and marks. Number, name and marks are called what? Why they are instance data members? Because they are available inside the object. Any data member present inside the object is called what? Right. Suppose when you have a car, type of a car, you are having a car. For that car number will be there or not? Car number, engine number also will be there or not? Car related kind of color will be there or not? Car related owner also will be there or not? Car related inside of it some type of what? Accession number will be there when you are going to have a co-passenger. That is all called what type of data members? Instance data member. That type of cars are what? So many prepared by Maruti. The company name is called what type? Class level data member. This type of knowledge is important. If we have this type of knowledge, you will follow. Clear or not clear? What is this number, name and marks are called? Now I want to display. 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 I'm going to write it. Display the display the values of Display the values of S1 object. How do you display S1 object values? S1 object values. Print of \t value of student number. Student number is equal to, tell me, all of you need to speak. S1 dot stno. Why you are saying S1 dot stno? Because I said already S1 object. How we are accessing S1 dot? Come on, next I want to access \t student name. Student name. Come on, faster. Student name is equal to, come on, I forget. S1 dot name. What is that S1 dot name? Is a example for accessing instance data member name. S1 dot stno is what? Syntax for accessing student number. Now I'm going to say print of what I'm doing, \t, \t. What is this now? Student marks is equal to what I should say? S1 dot marks. S1 dot marks. Okay, finished. This is called first object completed. First object completed. Similarly, I will go for second object also now. Display the values of this object. So I hope I will change. Not feeling difficult. Are you feeling difficult when I copy? No. S2 dot what? Object values. Come on now. Hmm. S2 dot, S2 dot, S2 dot. Suppose by mistake if I write S name, you will get which error? Which error? Which error? Come on, correct. Come on, correct. Correct. Hmm? Correct, mom. What you are saying is correct. Which error? Hmm? Type error. Option A, type error. Option B, attribute error. Option C, name error. Option D, syntax error. Come on, attribute error. Where I said A dot real, A dot imag. When I write A dot imaginary, you will get attribute error. This is not an attribute of what? S2. Attribute is nothing but after all data member. It is an error. It is an error. See the error. You got an attribute error. First point is coming. Second one is giving error. That's why, see, programming is dead easy once you follow very well. See that now. S1 object values, S2 object values. Easy or difficult? Dead easy. Not normal easy, dead easy. This is called fixed data. I want to read the data dynamically. I want to read the data dynamically. How do you read the data? Same. In place of placing the data, I'll go for dynamic data or not. So, online students, are you feeling comfortable here? Are you feeling comfortable? Quick. Everybody need to see student. We are having here usage. Student is having two usages. What is these two usages? I am using class to create first object and then what? Second object. Is class is a collection of objects? Huh? No, no. Class is used to create what? Object. But the people are saying in academics is what? Class is a collection of objects. Is it blunder or not? Class is a collection of what? This is the class definition. This is the class definition. This is the meaning of class. People are not saying that, people are completely disturbing the students by saying wrong things. Are you following me? That's why when you go to an interview, you need to tell like this. Suppose if you don't know anything about class definition, at least you write the definition like this. They will appreciate your programming knowledge. Once you know programming, you can answer like anything. Is it clear? Huh? Now I will go to the another example, continuation of it. Now I'm going to take up same thing I want to carry. I want to carry. Let us go to the next example here. Going to take it. Class level instance data member example 2.py. There I'm going to copy this entire thing. Here I'm going to write it. What is this now? Dynamically I want to read it. Dynamically I want to read. How do you read dynamically, students? Here I am writing. Tell me. Int of input of enter First student number. First student number. First student number. Next student. Enter what next, ma'am? Student name or not? Student name. So I want to go for here student name. I'll go for the student name. First student name. I'm going to take it. Next I'm going to take up what now? Student marks. Student marks I want to take it. You want to go for float? You can go for float. First student marks. Here I am going to write it. Similarly, I will go for what student? Second student also I will go for it. Here dynamically I am passing. S2 of course. S2. 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 Now I will go to what? Second student number. Second student number. This is called again second student number. And this is called second student marks. And moreover, I will give you this one separation between these two. Separation between these two. Am I reading the data from the keyboard or not? Yes. Finally, I want to print this data. I want to print this data. So please run this code again, students. Enter first student number. IDs of both the objects are separate. You need to have a picturization in the brain. Enter the number 1. So I'm writing here, Haripriya. So I'm writing like this. Marks is called 55.55. Next number is called 20. Now I'm going to write something like Nagalakshmi. So here I'm writing here. Like this I'm writing. And the marks is called 55.54. Like this I'm writing. Am I getting the data dynamically or not? First student data separate, second student data separate. In artificial intelligence, when you go to machine learning, OOPS is very important. OOPS is very important. This type of coding is important. So what are the types of data members and all those things is important. So coming to the point of it, I was accepted here. You should not write what? Here I wrote it. How I am accessing those kind of things, students? Object name dot I am accepting. You should not write a self. You should not write self. If you write self here, by mistake, if you write self, you will get a red underline there. Red underline indicates what? Error. Error it is error or not? It is an error. So you see, unresolved error. This is going to be an error here. So self dot, I'm writing it. Are you following this part or not? So this is known as what? S2 dot. Clear or not clear? Clear. Shall I introduce the class level data member here? Now, see students, this is 2.py. Class level data member I want to introduce. Class level data member, example, data members, example1.py, example1.py. Easy, not a difficult. Here I'm taking, tell me, class called what? Student. We used to write it. Well done, we go for it. I will write it. Class level data members can be specified in how many places? Why I am going for class level data member? To allocate the memory space one time for all the objects of which class? Same class. Class India. India. What is the country name? They will write inside country name is equal to India. And all the citizens of India are called objects of Indians only now. So coming to the point of it, specified in two places. One is inside of what? Class definition. I am writing inside the class definition. First time I am writing CRS is equal to Python. I am writing. What is CRS is called? Here CRS is called which level data member? Class level data member. Class level data member. Where I defined slowly I entered into the syntax. Class name. Inside I entered. Class level data member, I wrote it. Come to the point back. Here I am going to take up. Finished. Now this is called what? Execute it. You never get any output. I'll write from main program. How do I write from main program? What is this now? Student course. Student course. Student course is equal to what I'm writing. Main program I'm writing now. This is called a main program. I'm not creating any object. I'm not creating an object because it is which level data member? Class level data member. Dot. What is that now? How do you access it? Class level data members must be accessed with respect to what name? Class name. So how do you write it? What is the class name? Come on, say. Student dot, student dot, hmm, student dot, tell me, CRS. That will be printed. Execute. What is coming? Student course is equal to what? Python. Next I will write it. Here I am writing city is equal to HYD, for example. Here city is also called which level data member? Class level data member. City is also called as class level data member. How do you print ma? Student, student city is equal to, how do you write it? Student dot, student dot what? City. You try to run it. How I am accessing with respect to class name only. Able to follow? Now go to my place now. I will take one combined example today. Class level, class level, class level, instance, data, members, members, example 1.py. Combined example I am going to take up .py. Take one instance data member example 2. Dear students, carefully try to follow students. Here I am writing inside of that. For all my two students, what is the common course? I'll remove the pass, write it as what? CRS is equal to what? Python. Now I'm going to write it. City is equal to what? HYD. I'm writing. What are these two members are called? Here, CRS and city are called class level data members. Class level data members, they are not available inside of what? Object. They are available just for all the objects it is created one time only. Sir, how can you say that they are available, not available as a part of object? Can you show any proof? Yes, 100% I want to show you. How I will show you? You need to wait. First, you need to understand. So now I am going to print what? These are initialized one time only. I am going to read. When you open an account in SBI, they don't ask enter the branch name. Branch name by default present there only, no? Yes or no? When you are going to work in a company, every time they don't enter the company name. They will enter employee number, employee name, designation, every time they will enter. But company name, every time they don't enter. Because by default, it is available there only. What is the data member called? Class level. Coming to this place, here I am going to write it. I'm printing this data. What is that now? Backslash T. Capital letters awesome. Student course. Student course is equal to, come on. Student dot, student dot, I'm writing, dot what? CRS. What type of data member it is? Class level. Earlier one is which one? Instance. So you are supposed to write what? Student city. Student city, I'm writing. Is equal to what I'm writing now? City. City. Are you following? Similarly, same thing I will write here also. Same thing I am writing here also. Because it is a common for both of them now. Whose memory space created how many times? One time. Try to run this. Try to run this. Number called 100 RS and say some 45.67. Student number is called 200. Some TR and say something like 67.89. And you got it. What is this now? Student course. Anyhow, they are coming specific. These are common for both of them. These are common. They are printing every time, but one time only memory space is created. I hope that you are understanding the meaning of what? Class level data members and instance data member. Understood? So today's session, you need to understand the meaning of what? What is class level data member? What is instance data member? If you understand that, methods will become very easy. And different examples I will start after understanding data members and methods. Understand? So today class, we are strictly related to what? Data members. This I will post it, and Monday class I will go for discussing about methods I will discuss. Don't miss it. Monday is a very important session because methods will again revision will start about data members. First, you try to practice my examples, which I'm giving it. Okay, now carry on. Online students, you hold on if any doubts are there for you people.